Hey, welcome back. Thanks for coming, movie freaks. It's American Movie Freak Tracy here. Got another movie review for you, Knights of the Zodiac. This film was rated PG-13 for action and violence. The runtime is 1 hour and 52 minutes. This film stars Madison Iseman as Seiya and Athena.
It was Athena. She was doing it. I was doing it.
We won't let that happen, will we?
Mackenyu as Seiya.
The Pegasus Knight is brave, humble, and committed to protecting Athena.
Famke Janssen as Vander Garad.
I must save the rest of us from her.
Sean Bean as Almond Kiddo.
What if I told you Sienna here is the reincarnation of the goddess Athena?
Diego Tinoco as Nero. And Nick Stahl as Cassius. The plot of this movie is Athena, the goddess of war, becomes reincarnated into the body of Sienna, who is raised as the daughter of Almond Kiddo. Now, Almond Kiddo knows that she is Athena in a child form, and so he protects her as he raises her up into early adulthood. Meanwhile, you have Seiya, who is basically living on the streets, and he's fighting in the octagon to get money to pay for food and to pay for basically his living. Cassius, who owns this octagon, and he's the one that kind of runs it and gets new fighters in there. And so Seiya comes in there as a new fighter, and Cassius does not really like the type of fighting style that he has. But anyway, I'll get into that a little bit later. Seiya realizes at one point in the film that he has a different kind of a power, and as he learns to use this power, he tries to harness it so that he can become one of the Knights of the Zodiac to protect Athena, who is now a young adult. The villains who are trying to hunt Athena down and take care of her, meaning kill her, and they're also trying to find whoever these Knights of the Zodiac might be so that they can take care of them before they learn what their powers are and how to use them. So that's basically the plot of this film. Now, let's talk about something that I didn't know before I went and saw this film. Keep in mind, this review is a little bit tainted because of what I'm about to say. Apparently, and maybe lots of people out there knew this, I did not. Netflix has an anime series of the same name, Knights of the Zodiac. I have not seen the anime series. I knew nothing about it, and so my review is based off of someone who has no knowledge of that anime series. So take it with a grain of salt, anybody watching this review. If you know that anime series on Netflix, or you're familiar with the story there, what it really boils down to is that any story that becomes a film should be made for anybody to walk into the theater to be able to enjoy. My biggest problem with this film is that it starts out and you're talking about Athena, which obviously is Greek mythology. But then as you see Seiya, as he's working on his powers, he realizes that he draws from the power of the mythical Greek character Pegasus. The stronger his powers become, the more pieces to this armor show out. And then you see this image behind him of a blue Pegasus.
His power's a liability. Once he learns to control it.
My problem with that is, number one, Pegasus is not a Zodiac character, at least as far as the research that I did. There is one character who draws the power of the Phoenix and has a similar result as Seiya does. His image behind him of the Phoenix is red. Now, knowing that neither the Phoenix or Pegasus are part of the Zodiac, so the fact that they're called Knights of the Zodiac is kind of strange. Not to mention the actual detail and design of the armor that the Phoenix and the Pegasus receive is definitely of Asian influence. You can tell by the way it looks. And so now you've introduced an Asian look to Greek mythology and characters that have nothing to do with the Zodiac as we know it. And so I was confused because I was like, is it Greek mythology? Is it some kind of Asian mythology? And the storyline is also very predictable. I will say that the special effects are decent. I wouldn't say they're overly amazing. They're decent in terms of special effects of today. There's a couple of pretty big jumps in the plot. Cassius, he doesn't like his dance fight technique, and he asks him not to use it, to fight like a normal fighter, basically. And he gets so angry that he actually wants to kill him. And to me, that's kind of a big jump. It's like to go from not liking someone's fighting style to wanting to basically murder them. It was just a mishmash of sci-fi and different types of mythology and a predictable storyline all pushed together into this film called Knights of the Zodiac, which in my opinion doesn't really work. But as an audience member coming in without any knowledge, it just was weird. It was not cohesive. I just was confused a lot, just not knowing what was going on or why. And so I was not a fan of this film. If you're just looking for something that has a little bit of action, it does have that, or you just want to get out, you do like sci-fi and fantasy type movies, then by all means, you might really enjoy this film. But if you're like me and you like the story to kind of make sense as you go in one way or the other, then you may not like this film. Generally speaking, as long as the film is entertaining, I'm okay with it. But in this case, I was just so confused that I just didn't really like it. So I give this film a 5.5 out of 10 stars. I don't really recommend it unless you are a fan of the Netflix anime series. And in that case, you'll probably love it. I hope you do. But having said that, thanks so much for watching today. If you'd like to send me an email, you can send it to AmericanMovieFreaks@protonmail.com or leave me a comment below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you back, and I hope to one day see you at the show.